Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share some information about who is eligible to become an online tutor. So thank you for joining me in my channel today. Victoria Goes Virtual. Be sure to subscribe and like this video if you found it helpful and you'd like to see more videos like this. So to get started, I wanted to talk about who is basically able to become an online tutor. It can be basically a college student, it could be a stay-at-home parent, or it could be a business professional in a field that they're very knowledgeable and skilled at. So anyone pretty much can become an online tutor if that's something they want to do. So to start, I made a list of some requirements and things to kind of consider. They're not necessarily required, but I guess they're more suggested if you're trying to stand out as an online tutor and just kind of be aware of some things that can help you increase your tutoring sales and help your business. So let's get started with those points. So typically, having a bachelor's degree is not always required. Some online tutoring programs, such as like VIP Kid and certain services, will require that to be hired into the online tutoring platform. But if you're pursuing a bachelor's degree, or maybe you're just attending college, you still may be able to get hired from some of those online tutoring companies. I was able to get hired from Q Kids with only an associate's degree. So it just kind of depends on the type of online program you're looking into and what their requirements are. So that's something that could probably help your chances if you're trying to go be hired by another tutoring company. If you're trying to teach ESL online, so that's where you're teaching kids or people around the world how to speak English better or help them with their pronunciation skills and stuff like that, a TEFL certificate is also recommended. I got mine, and I'll include the description, the link to the tutoring TEFL certification program I went through. It was only about $30 for me to get this, and it helped open so many doors when it comes to traveling or teaching English to foreign language speakers who don't necessarily have that English skill set yet. So that would be something to look into as well. Another great way to know if you'd be good as an online tutor or an online teacher possibly as well is some of these are just some skills that are suggested, I think. Just having really good communication skills and being comfortable talking to people online and not feeling very nervous, just making it a very warm and comforting environment for the student to where they feel like they're not going to be judged or criticized for their skill level, and they're going to be supported and encouraged. So I think that that's really important, to just be able to communicate well, as well as like writing skills and your verbal skills. That's very important. Of course, you want to be pretty fluent in English if you're going to be teaching English to others, or whatever subject you're going to be tutoring. You probably want to have as much knowledge and skills in that area to be able to effectively help people in the best way you can. So that's definitely recommended. Also, just having really good organizational skills is key with tutoring, especially when you're going, if you're not doing online, but if you're going to homes and you're keeping track of all the paperwork and just all the assignments and stuff. It's very helpful to have like a binder, or just keep track in like a planner of what's going on as far as your scheduling and stuff like that. And most of all, just like having a flexible schedule. Like sometimes things might pop up when you're not necessarily planning on it. So like, for instance, like when I worked for Q Kids, like sometimes I would just be scheduled for things, and it would be like a day before that I knew I had classes coming up. So you just kind of have to be one of those people that are like comfortable with not really knowing when you're gonna get scheduled for things with certain programs. Now, if you're doing this on your own, you can totally create like your own schedule basically. If you're doing this as your own business, like you know what times you're available, and that's the same thing with Q Kids as well, but it's just a little bit more like they don't give you tons and tons of notice usually. So you kind of have to like be prepared to try to jump into things. I think they had like the standby calls sometimes, or standby lessons where you have to kind of wait and see if you're going to be teaching a class that day. So there's just different types of things, but being flexible is very key. And most of all, another a very, very special skill to always have as a tutor or a teacher, I think it's just being very personal with your students and patient, not like getting frustrated with the learning process, because it's very difficult to learn a new language or to improve writing skills. It takes a lot of focus and patience on both ends, from the student and the teacher. So I've tried learning Italian and I'm still pursuing that, but I know that it's really difficult, and sometimes you don't always feel like you have a lot of confidence in the language and just walking up to someone and start talking to them, because you want to kind of practice that with someone first and just be sure you're pronouncing things correctly, and you just it makes it easier to communicate when you feel like ready and confident in that. So I'm very patient with students, and I try not to be too critical and judge them. I just go with the flow of where they are and try to improve on what they want to do. And basically it's just important to be friendly and personable with people. So that's key in becoming an online tutor. So different subjects that you can do as an online tutor. So if you're wanting to work with like younger kids, like elementary to high school level, you can tutor in just the basic subjects like math, English, and history. Reading comprehension, that is something that I have helped with students before. I've helped with students that were dyslexic and had ADD, to help them take their time in reading through an article or something, and trying to see what they were able to analyze from that. And I think that that's a really fun way to help kids too, to improve their reading skills. So also you can tutor in languages. So if you know how to speak Spanish or German, Korean, French, whatever you know how to speak, you can help other people. Like for instance me, I really want to learn Italian, so I would love to work with an Italian tutor and be able to practice that one-on-one with someone. So that's a skill that you can also share with someone as well. ESL, that's what I'm mostly focused on with my online tutoring business, is teaching English as a second language. So they have their own, whoever I'm working with has their original language, and they're trying to build off their English skills and their English learning language. So that's a really fun area that I enjoy quite a bit, because it's really cool to be able to communicate in a different way than just talking one-on-one. You communicate a lot through images and showing what things are, what things mean in the English language, and they have you kind of learn their language as well working with students that way. So it's really, really fun and rewarding to me. And then there's also like skill building, where you're helping students build their testing skills, stuff like that. Special ed tutoring. And if you are really if you're wanting to work with like older college students, you can help tutor like the LSAT or the MCAT prep for law school or medical school. So if that's something you're studying and you got that down and you're able to help someone with that kind of thing, you can. Or just like SAT and ACT for high school students. So wherever you feel like you have like that skill set and you want to help people, share that with people to help them gain that knowledge and success, then I feel like that's something that you should look into to try to possibly tutor. And of course, there's also adults that you know, could benefit from tutoring, as far as like resume writing, interview skills, ESL, once again for older adults who are trying to work on that for themselves, writing skills, adult literacy. So there's just a whole lot of different components of tutoring. And as professional tutoring, if you're trying to help someone with like business skills, you can help tutor them in social media marketing, customer service skills, computer coding, just all of that kind of stuff. So basically, yeah, that's all I really wanted to share today. This is still kind of my new channel that I'm building up on, and I have a whole lot of ideas and content that I'm going to be sharing in my upcoming videos. I just wanted to kind of introduce some ways that you can start thinking about if tutoring is something you want to do. Once again, a bachelor's degree is not required. Neither is a TEFL if you're not working for a company. So if you're doing this on your own, there's a lot of possibilities that you can use, you know, a lot of skills that you can use already just with that. And you also get to set your own wage, which is really cool. And so I really enjoy this job, and I want to just share this with you guys to help you learn how to work online and be able to travel and see things and have things that you want out of life. So thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.